Jay, I guess I'll just do the ask for the update on the individuals who were not practicing today. Kane, Pugliarvi, and Vinny, I believe.
Yeah, we had a couple maintenance days going on and kept some people off the ice, make sure they're getting the right amount of rest, and we'll see. Yeah.
With the exception of the season that was shortened,
Yep.
Derek Ryan has always scored double digits, and now he's one goal away from doing that again. He doesn't often play with, some of the higher scoring players on the teams he's been on. Where does that consistency come from, do you think?
His mindset, his approach, his journey to get to the NHL. I think all of that, his upbringing, I think all of that combines for what we're seeing now. I'm quite proud of the fact that, he's playing at the level he's playing at his age. He's not far off tracking for a career year for himself. I think he's one of the underrated, least talked about Edmonton Oilers, but he's certainly someone that helps when you look at the ledger of contribution compared to minutes played. He's certainly up there, and he's valued by his teammates and appreciated by his coaching staff.
You've known Philip Broberg a while. I know it's not the be-all and end-all stat, but his plus-minus is pretty good.
Yeah.
Overall, what do you think of the biggest step or two he's taken, if you want to look back, last February?
Yeah, I didn't think last night was his best game, yet he found a way to be plus two, I think, in that game last night. I think he's someone that's continuing to gain experience and find his footing against the best players in the world. He's a great skater, and his legs get him out of trouble. His puck play is coming along. I still think there's more offense in him, and we'll see more of that type of thing as he feels more comfortable at this level. But he's a really, really coachable person, somebody who I see is growing, and I've seen his progression from when he first came over to North America to where he is now, and he's tracking in the right direction.
Hey Jay, I want to ask you about your thoughts on the overtime sessions now. Before it seemed like teams would trade chances back and forth, and now it seems more of a kind of a chess game. The team will get the puck and they'll hold it and rag it and hold it and then make a chance, hoping that your guys get tired of the dynamic guys. Do you seeing that as well, or that's something that?
Yeah. I think there's a strategy behind it. And I think anytime NHL level coaches get there to sink their teeth into a new concept or something like and it's essentially a special team when you're out there 3-on-3, you see different types of trends, and we certainly had some chances to end that in overtime. It didn't go our way, and but yeah, I think anytime you combine the skill level of players in the National Hockey League with the minds that are coaching them, certainly there's lots of different strategies.
Is that something you look at now and go, okay, now we have to try and counter that somehow and try and get this ball back the way it was before?
Yeah, you know what, I think, forget the shootout record, but the overtime record is fairly similar. I think that's what coaches do. They pay attention to trends that are occurring in the National Hockey League, and you try and find ways to have success. Again, I would look at last night's overtime. I thought, we had some good chances to end it. It didn't go our way. That's the way it goes sometimes.
Hi, Jay. We had a chance to talk to Kailer Yamamoto, and he just seemed like he's itching to get back in.
Chomping at the bit.
Yeah. What needs to occur for that to happen? What do you want to see as a coach I know the green light is...
No, he's ready. He'll be in the game tomorrow.
Okay. What does there's 28 games approximately, whatever it is left.
Yeah.
Got to get up and running. What do you want to see from him?
I don't want him to be anything that he isn't. I want him to bring the skills that he brings to the rink every day to the table. I want to see a level of consistency with that. I didn't think the first part of the year went his went his way. I thought he played one of his best games of the year in Tampa, but got hurt in that game, so he missed some time after that. I thought, he played really well after Christmas, specifically in Anaheim, and then he got hurt there. So I'm hoping that he stays healthy, number one, that he finds a level of consistency to his game, and he brings what he can bring, because when he's at the top of his game, he makes us a very dangerous team.
Do you expect a roster movement tomorrow to make for Yamamoto to get in your lineup?
Yes.
Care to share what that is?
No.
Okay. Thought I'd ask.
Yeah, no, that's fair. No, Ken's got a lot of balls in the air, and the one thing I do know is that Yamo is going to play in the game tomorrow.
Jay, I noticed today you had certain drills on face-offs. You talked earlier in the year you didn't like some of your goals right off of face-offs, and then for a long time that wasn't an issue. After you had a chance to look at the film, when you look at those two goals specifically off draws, what was it that you didn't like from them?
Yeah, let's start with what led to those faceoffs. I thought there was two very makeable plays where the puck was on our tape and we iced the puck when we didn't need to. That happens. It happens for every team throughout an 82-game schedule. But I thought we could handle those situations better. So that's number one. Number two, both of those draws were snap back. So it wasn't 50-50 puck. It wasn't, a car crash in the face-off dot. They were snap back clean. That's on our centers where we can be better. Okay, so that's two small things about it. In terms of the coverages, I would say the one in the first period where their defenseman went down the wall, they shot a puck, it went off our player and into the net. You try and coach every second. Sometimes the game happens like that. We'll live with that one. It's a bad angle shot that went in off our defenseman's butt and in the net. The one in the second period, I felt we could have been in the shooting lane for. Now, that was an atypical one because of where it was won, but I felt we could have been in the shooting lane.
Now, I'm going to try to word this because I know every team's good in the NHL, but there are better teams than other teams. You guys had a run of 8 or 9 games against bottom 10 teams, and now that ends. You got New York and Colorado. Do you think that plays in the mindset of your team at all? Not that you overlook teams, because you outshot them a lot last night, but you played. Do you sense that sometimes there is more urgency when you know a team coming in like the Rangers is flying, they got a lot of talent? Is that different than sometimes if you're facing a string of bottom-end teams?
What I would say is it is the NHL. Every game is difficult to win. And we were pushed in ways since the start of, since coming back from the All-Star break. We've been pushed by different types of teams in different ways, all of whom gave everything they had. None of them mailed it in and just said, okay, the Oilers are in town, let's give them the 2 points. In fact, I think the opposite. I think when you bring in some of the firepower that we have into any game, it raises people's antennas. And you get other teams' best games because they don't want to be embarrassed by some of the talent that we have on our team. That's a responsibility. I thought we did a good job of taking care of business here basically since the Christmas break. We don't control the schedule. Teams' records are teams' records. Now, what I will say is this, is that the team that's coming in here tomorrow is one of the hottest teams, if not the hottest team in the National Hockey League. If you look at the types of ways that they're winning games, if we don't bring our A game, if we don't pay attention to details, this team has the firepower that can hurt you and hurt you in a bad way. So we better make sure that we're prepared to play a certain way tomorrow, to check for chances, because this New York Rangers team, they certainly have our attention.
Jay, will Jesse Puljujarvi play tomorrow?
Yeah, we'll see.
Is he ill as Desharnais?
No, he was kept off for a maintenance day today.
Okay.
Yeah. Good? All right, guys, thanks.